You looked in the mirror this morning, and something stopped you. Not a bad day. Not the light. Your hair. It looked smaller. Thinner. Like it had quietly given up overnight. And you're not imagining it. Fine, thinning hair after 60 does change. Not slightly. Significantly. And most women are still wearing cuts designed for thicker hair they no longer have, which means every single morning the mirror is adding years to a face that deserves so much better. In part 3, I'm sharing the one cut that stylists almost never suggest first, but that works better than anything else on fine hair over 60. You don't want to miss it. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50, so you get real results, fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The soft layered pixie with side sweep. You've probably heard the word pixie and immediately thought, no. Too short. Too harsh. Too much. I get it. But stay with me here, because what I'm talking about is not the pixie you're picturing. There's a version of the pixie that most women over 60 with fine hair never get offered, and that's actually the crime here. Because the wrong pixie on fine hair? It lies completely flat. It hugs the skull. It removes every trace of volume from the crown, and somehow makes your face look wider at the jaw and narrower at the temples. If that sounds familiar, it's because you've probably lived it. Or you're living it right now. The soft layered pixie with a side sweep is something else entirely. And this is the one I want you to hear about, because it solves 3 problems at the same time. It creates the illusion of volume at the crown where you actually want it. It softens the face frame. And the side sweep, that one detail, draws the eye upward and outward toward your cheekbones. That single movement does more for your bone structure than almost any product on the market. Here's the thing most stylists skip over. Fine hair doesn't need more product to look fuller. It needs architecture. The layers in this cut are what create the lift. They're cut in a way that the hair at the crown sits slightly elevated away from the scalp instead of collapsing down into it. And then the sweep, it's cut longer on one side, usually just past the temple, falling diagonally across the forehead. And that asymmetry tricks the eye. It reads as movement. Movement reads as volume. And volume on fine hair after 60 reads as youth. This is the one a friend of mine heard described, and called her stylist the next morning. She'd been in the same blunt short cut for 6 years, and couldn't understand why it felt increasingly heavy somehow despite her hair being so thin. The sweep changed everything. Her words, not mine. So what do you actually ask for? This is the part 1 want you to write down, because going into a salon and saying, "Give me a pixie," will get you something completely different. Instead, say this exactly. I want a layered pixie with internal crown layering for lift, kept longer at the sides and top, with a soft diagonal side sweep past the temple on the longer side. Keep it textured throughout, no blunt lines. That sentence alone will change what lands in the chair. And once it's cut right, the maintenance is easier than you'd think. Every 4 to 5 weeks for a trim to keep the sweep at exactly the right length. Any longer and the asymmetry collapses. Any shorter and you lose the softness. The next part covers a style that's completely different in length, but uses the exact same principle of strategic layering. And for a lot of women, it's the bigger revelation. Part 2. The chin-length layered bob with invisible graduation. Bold truth. The bob is not one haircut. It never has been. And the one most women over 60 with fine hair are currently wearing is working directly against them. And I mean that in the most physical, visible, measurable way possible. A blunt chin-length bob on fine hair presses flat. The weight line sits at the jaw. And because there's no internal movement, no layering, the hair just hangs. It sits heavy at the bottom, even on hair that has almost no density at all. And it makes the jaw look wider. The cheeks look fuller in the wrong direction. The face loses its lift. That specific combination is quietly adding 4 to 6 years to your face every single morning. What changes everything here is something stylists call invisible graduation. It sounds technical. It isn't. What it means is that the hair underneath, the layers closest to your neck, is cut slightly shorter than the hair on top. So instead of all the hair hanging at the same length and creating that flat wall, the underneath layers recede, and the top layers sit forward with a natural curve. The whole cut suddenly has shape. It moves. It breathes. And that movement, that small lift and curve, is what makes fine hair look like it has twice the density it actually has. This is the cut that works on almost every face shape over 60, because the chin length sits long enough to soften a jawline that's changed with age, but short enough to clear the shoulder, which is where a lot of fine hair starts to drag and thin noticeably. Write this one down. I'd like a chin-length layered bob with invisible graduation, shorter underneath and longer on top, with soft layering throughout the mid-lengths and ends. No blunt lines anywhere. I want movement, not weight. There's a reason this mistake is the one I hear about most from women who finally switch stylists. Because it's so subtle you don't notice it at first. You just know the cut feels off. You feel like you need more product, more volume spray, more dry shampoo. And you're doing all of that work to compensate for something a different cut would solve permanently. I watched a woman in a salon last spring, genuinely striking face, the kind of bone structure you'd photograph, sitting with a blunt chin bob that was flattening her completely. She asked the stylist to just clean it up. She didn't know what she actually needed to ask for. That one missing phrase, invisible graduation, was costing her the whole look. Your maintenance window on this cut is every 6 to 8 weeks. The graduation needs to stay sharp underneath or the weight line creeps back. A quick trim, no color required, keeps it alive between full cuts. What's coming next is the style that surprises people most. I didn't expect it to be the one women message me about most. But it always is. Part 3. The textured crop with nape taper. There's one thing about the textured crop that nobody in this space talks about. And that's next, right now actually. So stay close. Most people hear the word crop and assume it means short all over. Same length, same weight, same flat result as everything else. But a textured crop is something specific. It has a longer crown and a tapered nape, and that combination is the secret. The crown sits full. The nape sits clean. The face is framed from above, not crowded from the sides. And for fine hair over 60, that architecture is exactly what the structure of your face needs. Here's the surprising truth about fine thinning hair. The less hair you have, the more precise the cut needs to be. This is what most women never get told. When there's less hair, every line the cut creates is visible. A blunt line reads as heavy and deliberate. A textured, point cut line reads as intentional and alive. The texture isn't just aesthetic, it's doing structural work on the hair you actually have, making it behave as if there's more of it than there is. The nape taper is what gives this cut its quiet elegance. The hair at the nape is cut close, sometimes very close, and fades upward into the longer crown section. That graduation creates a visual lift from the base of the head upward. Your neck looks longer. Your jawline reads cleaner. The whole silhouette lifts. This is the one that surprised me most when I first started researching cuts for fine hair. Because it's the opposite of what you'd instinctively choose. You'd think, I have thin hair, I need length for coverage. But coverage is not the goal. Shape is the goal. And a textured crop with a nape taper delivers shape better than almost anything else. This is the one a friend of mine heard described and said, "That's it. That's what I've been trying to describe to every stylist for 3 years." She had fine hair that barely covered her crown and she'd been fighting it with volume sprays and root lifters every single morning. One cut. The right cut. That was all. What you ask for matters enormously here. Say this. I want a textured crop with a longer crown section, and a tapered nape that graduates close at the base and lifts upward. Point cut throughout the top section for texture, no blunt lines. The crown should sit lifted, not pressed. Swap it from a short even crop that's the same length all over with no graduation. Swap it to a textured crop where the crown is kept at least an inch longer than the nape, with visible tapering from the nape upward. Maintenance on a textured crop with a nape taper is every 4 weeks without exception. The taper is what makes or breaks the whole cut. Once the nape starts to grow out, the silhouette gets heavy at the base and the lift disappears. It's the fastest of the 3 styles to lose shape, but also the fastest to restore. A 20-minute tidy-up at 4 weeks keeps it perfect indefinitely. The next part is where everything comes together. The one styling step that works across all 3 of these cuts and makes the difference between fine hair that looks styled and fine hair that looks done. Part 4. The styling step that makes all 3 cuts work. Have you ever left a salon and thought, why does it never look the same at home? You've had the cut. You've watched them do it. You bought the product they used. And still, it doesn't come together the way it did in the chair. Here's the thing. It's not the product. It's the step that comes before the product. And almost nobody explains it. Fine hair after 60 has a different texture and a different behavior than fine hair in your 30s. The strand diameter has changed. The elasticity has changed. The way it holds shape has changed. Which means every styling technique you learned before 60 may need to go. I know that's uncomfortable to hear, but it's also actually the most freeing thing, because once you understand this, everything gets simpler. The step is this: blast heat from below, not above. When you blow dry fine hair by directing the airflow downward, the way most of us learned, you're sealing the hair flat against itself and against your scalp. It looks smooth. It has zero lift. Every minute you spend blow drying from above is a minute of volume you're actively removing. Flip your head forward. Direct heat upward from underneath the hair toward the root. Move through the crown section in this position until the root is about 90% dry. Then flip back up. You'll see an immediate difference. The root section sits away from the scalp. That's volume you created with nothing but airflow direction. This alone changes how all three of these cuts perform. This is the one I wish someone had told me years ago. It sounds so simple it almost doesn't feel real. But try it once and you'll understand why women message me about it more than almost anything else. After that root lift is set, this is the second part. Apply your product to dry or nearly dry hair, not wet. Fine hair is weighed down instantly by product applied to wet strands. The moisture plus the product plus the weight of water presses the hair flat before it's even had a chance to dry into shape. Apply a pea-sized amount of a light hold cream, or a single pump of a volumizing mousse to hair that is at least 80% dry. Work it through the mid-lengths only, not the roots, not the ends. The mid-lengths hold the shape you've created. The roots stay free. The ends stay light. Swap from applying product to soaking wet hair before blow drying. Swap to drying to 80% first, then applying a small amount of product to mid-lengths only, then finishing with heat from below. Your maintenance tip here is product rotation. Fine hair builds up residue faster than thicker hair. And that residue is what causes the flat, dull look that creeps in by day 2 or 3. Use a clarifying shampoo once every 2 weeks. Not every wash, once every 2 weeks. It resets the hair completely and restores the lightness the cut needs to behave the way it was designed to. This is the part that turns any of the 3 cuts from a good cut into a great result. The architecture the cut creates, the layers, the taper, the sweep, only comes alive when the styling step underneath supports it. And now you have both. The cut and the technique. That combination is what makes the difference between fine hair you manage and fine hair that actually works for you. You just learned 3 complete cuts: the soft layered pixie, the chin length bob with invisible graduation, and the textured crop with nape taper, plus the one styling technique that makes every single one of them perform the way they're designed to. That's 4 solutions in one sitting, and most women spend years figuring those out separately. Boom, your hair was always capable of this. You just needed the right architecture to let it show. Tell me in the comments, which of these 3 cuts are you going to try first? I genuinely want to know. Next time, we're going into the one color placement mistake that makes fine hair look thinner, not fuller, and the fix takes less than 1 appointment. Like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.